Guys, welcome to this video. This is the English version of the previous one that I was actually uploading on YouTube. Today I will actually trying to analyze and get a bit deep on the Group C for World Cup Russia 2018. The group contains France, Peru, Denmark and Australia. What can I say? It's basically the same as the other groups. There's a possible dominator. There's a team that has a good quality and organization as like Denmark. The dominator should be France, and then there are two teams. Peru can actually hope to get into the qualification as a second, I would say. But Australia is the Cinderella team, the one that honestly doesn't have much chance, on my opinion. But then Mourinho was saying on his prediction that Australia was qualifying as a second. I mean, honestly, I have less experience, of course, than Mourinho and everything. But I don't know. That sounds a bit difficult to me. But let's go one by one to analyze the teams. France will play with 4-2-3-1 with Griezmann as falso nueve. In alternative, they have of course Giroud for the last minutes when you wanna force a defense, a result with the free kick or some kind of a more physical player. Giroud is a good option. They have a very experienced but young and very fast defense with Mendy or Hernandez from Atletico Madrid. Varane Umtiti, that they are also very good technically. They can actually start the action from the defense, and it's very good for the developing of attacking game. They are both very good technically, but also they are actually quite fast, especially Umtiti, and they are very experienced because both they have experience in Real Madrid. Varane, of course, everyone knows that, and Umtiti in Barcelona. And then we have CDB from Monaco. That is also an attacking right back. On midfield, I would say they have actually, of course, as in any other aspect of the team, they have a lot of choice. They have Matuidi and Kante that can actually stay with Tolisso, because Tolisso will play for sure because he's the playmaker, the guy that actually allowed the game to develop. He's a great player. I like Tolisso a lot, but I also like Matuidi and Kante. They are both defensive midfielders. Kante runs like a person with four lungs. It's incredible. I think Kante will play with Tolisso, honestly. And then behind Griezmann, they have a lot of choice. Of course, they have Mbappé, Pogba, Dembélé. That, in my opinion, they will be the one to play. Mbappé is probably one of the brightest stars in this World Cup. Dembélé as well, and Pogba also. I mean, they are all great players, all top players. But then in the bench they have Fekir, that is a great dribbler, a player that can actually change a game whenever he wants if it's in a good day. Same thing for Lemar, that was actually transferred to recently, yesterday, to Atletico Madrid, and Florian Thauvin, that finally has exploded as a great player that he is. Honestly, France is one of the teams that I think they will conquer to win the World Cup. On my opinion, is the strongest team, but football is not just on paper. For Australia, I can say that they will play Van Marwijk will actually put a 4-2-3-1 as well. They will play probably with the endless Tim Cahill. I mean, he's 39 and he's still playing in a pretty good level with Millwall. The forward from Samoan origins will probably play the last important tournament of his career, and I'm sure that he will actually make the difference this time as well. In defense, they are pretty slow, I have to say. but they can count on the experience in European football from Sainsbury. That was actually playing in Inter in the playing. He was not playing, but he had in experience in Inter team the last year. Now he's in Grasshoppers in Switzerland. In the midfield, watch out because they have Arzani, that is the youngest player of the competition. It's very interesting player. I think he could play actually in the 11. I'm very curious to see him at this level. For Peru, I can say that they were one of the biggest surprises of the qualification in South America. They are a very very physical team. They run a lot and they are pretty well organized. They actually play a simple football with the 4-2-3-1 from Gareca. I have to say the most important players are Tapia, that is a midfielder that can filter the attacking for the opponents, and then they have finally the FIFA will allow Guerrero to play. That is basically the iconic player from Peru because he's the bomber, the number 9, the one that is supposed to make the difference. He's a great player. He's playing in Flamengo. I think he's 31 years old, and he actually wants to give a lot of satisfaction to Peruvian people. Behind Guerrero will play a trio that they have speed, they have fantasy, and they can actually create a lot of problems to defense. I'm speaking about Farfan, former Schalke 04 and now at Lokomotiv Moscow. Cueva, that is a big talent from Sao Paulo, is playing in Sao Paulo, in Brazil, and Carrillo, that is playing in Premier League with Watford. Another possible surprise in this team is Andy Polo. Andy Polo was actually playing in under 19 in Inter Milan. Now he's in Portland Timbers. This guy can dribble. He's very fast. I'm pretty curious. I'm pretty sure that he will have the chance to show some skills. Speaking about Denmark, this is a very very difficult team to play against because they have a great goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel. He was one of the main players in the Miracle Leicester with Claudio Ranieri 3 years ago. And then they have a defense that is actually quite good with Christensen from Chelsea, Kjaer that was playing in Palermo and Roma as well, that now is playing in Sevilla, and Vestergaard that is playing for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Previously he was playing in Bundesliga in Werder Bremen, and Dalsgaard from Brentford. The midfield that is actually the heart of this team contains two players that can actually protect a lot the defense. That is Kvist from Copenhagen and Delaney from Werder Bremen. But they have the genius Eriksen, one of the best midfielders in the world, in my opinion. He can make the difference. He is the player that actually can carry on his shoulders the future of this team. In attack, they actually are. They are a good team. They have good attackers like Cornelius, that is a giant. He's playing in Atalanta and he was actually creating pretty big troubles to Italian defense. Roma can tell you something about it. There's the speed of Pione Sisto from Celta Vigo, and there's actually the talent. This is someone to keep an eye on, and is Dolberg from Ajax. In the bench, there's actually a talent that he was not exploding as expected, like Fischer, but he's a great player. I mean, I liked him a lot when he was playing when he was younger. And then they have Poulsen from Leipzig, and that's a guy that can create also problems. It's fast and he can score goals. We actually saw him in Europa League doing pretty good performances. As I said, my predictions for this group is first France, of course, there's no doubt about it, and then for the second place, Denmark will fight with Peru. Honestly, I think Denmark is a bit better, but the garra from Peruvian people, it cannot be underestimated. Australia, I don't think they have much chance to pass the group stage, but football is a great game because it's full of surprises. Please comment below if you have some other consideration to make. I will actually answer. Share and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. See you for the video about Group D tomorrow. Ciao.